Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of the ranking all operators in Rainbow Six Siege. This is going to be just for defenders. We're in alphabetical order once again, just like last video. If you did miss the attackers, check that one out. It has the new operator Ram in it, so you're for sure going to want to know where I ranked her. And you may be surprised too. I'm not going to spoil it, but check that one out. Here we go for defenders though. Again, alphabetical order, we're starting with Alibi. I'm the most interested to get to Legion's ranking probably, because of the new change with the goo mines, with the super shorty. So I'll have to see where I put him. Okay, Alibi though to start. Let me put her in B tier. She's pretty average, like, she'll be fine if you take her. She has a good gun too, just no 1.5 anymore. A little bouncy than it used to be. And no impacts or shield, that's a big thing. Just because of that, I'm gonna demote her down to C tier, I think. Like, Alibi's not that good anymore. There's so many better ops. Like, she'll be fine, but, like, she's just middle of the pack. Either high C tier or low B tier. If you put her in B, I have nothing wrong with that. Aruni, she's going to be an A tier, I think, still. I want to put her B, but she'll be, like, lower A tier or mid A tier because she's still good. Just so many counters now. Like, Bravo completely counters her. The new operator Ram, like, you can just send those things through and it's fine. It doesn't even affect it. So Aruni's, she's alright, and you can obviously just throw like stuns or whatever through to burn it. That's always been a thing though. And a 3 armor. She has good guns though. I love using the DMR that Dokkaebi has on her. I just don't play Aruni too much, I don't know why. Still an A tier op though, she's really good. The zombie, right to S tier, she's one of the best ops in the game. There's so many overpowered defenders right now, it's kind of crazy. Her gun's a little weaker than the rest. It's still really good, though. I love that gun. Imagine it had a 1.5 on a zombie. And yes, I know her shotgun has a 1.5, but that gun is so bad. I hate that gun. I tried to use it one time. The fire rate's so slow. You can only shoot that thing so fast. So if you're a headshot player like me, that's like good at hitting heads, then it's terrible. It shoots so slow. So it's like a body shot weapon, and it limits the time you can kill people. I just don't like it. And it's harder to hit heads with it because the fire rate's terrible. It's good for setting up side, I guess, but that's about it. She already has the deagle, though, for setting up like holes or whatever you need. Just can't do rotates unless you use your impacts for that. She also has barb, though. Underrated thing there. Okay, Bandit is going to be A tier. In this meta, he's actually pretty decent right now. Since we're in like the fast-paced meta. Everybody's running and gunning. It's good at getting the walls like that. And you can easily get a bandit trick off and they won't expect it. Or they're just off doing their own thing while you're bandit tricking the thermite and he has no help and no one with grenades near him. And a really good gun on bandit, 3 speed. Can't go wrong with him still. He'll be like lower A tier probably. I think he's pretty decent though. Castle also going to go right to the A tier. Probably like above bandit. Castle's really good at stopping this fast-paced meta because the castle barricades. Obviously, they can still get around it, but Castle's going to be good in most bomb sites if you use them right. Just don't, like, anchor your teammates into the site and trap them or whatever. You're going to want to use those on, like, extended roams or holds. Like, cutting off lines of sight the attackers can get when you're flanking or roaming. If used correctly, Castle is really good. His gun's kind of weak, but not the worst. You can run the extended barrel even, I guess. The fire rate's really slow again, just kind of like a zombie shotgun, but UMP easily is better than that. Cav. I feel like this is actually Cav's meta right now. She's still really bad. Like, I'll put her low C tier and be nice, but she's really not terrible now. Like, she has impact still, or the beepers, if you want that, if you're running the shotgun. Again, the shotgun's really good. Shotgun's even better now with this buff. That alone makes me want to like put her up B tier, but I'm not going to do that. I'll hold on that choice. Shotguns are crazy now, though. That does help the defenders a lot. Like, if you run Thorn shotgun now, it's probably pretty good. Or even Bandit shotgun or Jaeger. I know that shotgun's good now. Echo shotgun's a good choice, even. God, I wonder how Ella's shotgun is now. Probably OP again. I know the Malusi shotgun's good now. I wonder how Oryx and Valk is. We'll see, I guess, as the season rolls on. Next will be Clash, though. She'll go right to D tier. I'm not sure if there's going to be any like F tier operators. We'll have to see as we go on. But Clash is going to be one of the weaker ops overall. Still, you need a team to run her. I'll put her D tier. Usually when I'm in games, people running Clash around me. I'll have to go by the average player. They're just throwing for the defense. They're taking a gun away and they're just getting killed. Like Clash is very annoying, but that doesn't make her good. Like, I can't put Clash any higher than that. If you put her C tier, fine, I'll allow it, but I think she's D tier. Okay, Doc. Doc's gonna go straight up to like, I think he's like top A tier. I don't think he's S tier because he doesn't bring the most utility, but if you bring a Doc every round, you're set kind of like. You have heals for everybody. If you can use the heals correctly and be a good Doc player, then he's actually really underrated right now. I think healers are underrated in general. Besides Thunderbird. I'll get to her though. But yeah, I do like Doc. And he has a bailiff for sight setup, so if you're in a pinch, don't want to bring a smoke that round, just bring Doc. He still has some barbed wire or a bulletproof. Really good guns too. Echo, I think Echo's pretty much like a better version of Doc right now. Like he's faster, same gun but with a suppressor, no recoil. Either shield or impact, so better secondaries than Doc for gadgets. He has a bearing 9, which is insane. Again, if you're on the bearing 9 as your primary with a shotgun for up close, then he's like really good, but I love his MP5 too much to use shotgun. And his drones are really good too in this meta. If you use them correctly and roam around with your team with those drones and like help your roamers out, or like use one to help your roamers and then use one on your back so you can just check that one, make sure nobody's flanking you when you're on your cams, because you never know when it's in the sight behind you. Not in this meta. I think Echo's really underrated right now. I'll put him A tier. Ella, I think Ella's gonna go right in there in B tier. Like, I think she's pretty middle of the road. She's average. I do like her gun a lot. If you can control that gun, it's really good. The fire rate's insane on it. It is a headshot machine, but her gadget is it's alright. I like having her gadget around because, again, it like going traps just helps with this meta, countering it directly. They can't just rush in because they're going to get full Ella mine. They can't hear anything. They can't see you. So she is really good. And 2 barbs, so barb plus the 3 mines is kind of crazy. I think Ella's underrated too. I'll put her B. Fenrir right up to S tier. I'm not sure who's better between Azami or Fenrir. They can do different things, but again, Fenrir has barb and like 4 traps, or 5 traps, sorry, and 3 can be active at once. That's just insane to me. I don't know how he still has that much, but hey, we'll take it. And he has the bailiff on top of that, and a really good gun in the MP7. Try that with a suppressor, by the way. It's really good. Even iron sights are good on it. Okay, Frost. Frost is going to go S tier, probably lower though. Her gun's kind of weak with a fire rate, but it's still a really good gun. High damage. It's good for body shots. And the Frost mats are going to be really good. The Frost rework hasn't happened yet, but I was just playing earlier, and I feel like the Frost mat speed is faster. Like you can put it down quicker. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I swear it is, just from feeling. Maybe that was just the quick match mode I was playing. Maybe you can like put gadgets down faster. I don't know. But it did seem quicker. Also, that mode is terrible. The reinforcements were so bad in 2 games I played. But we move on. Also, she has a shotgun for setting up sight. She's kind of like a better version of Smoke at this point, since Smoke lost the shield. So she is by far the best shield up. Okay, Goyo. Goyo's going to be like... He's kind of like on Ella's level. He shuts down the rush, but like... Sometimes his gadgets go completely countered. Like, he's still good, don't get me wrong. I'm not... Like, B's good. There's nothing wrong with B. Even C is good sometimes. As long as they're not D or below, they're like good operators still. I just have to rank them. Like, I'd rather have all the ones above. Maybe not Bandit, though. Maybe I put Bandit too high. Kind of rather have Ella or Goyo than Bandit, but maybe not. Depends on the site at the end of the day, I guess. I like that for Goyo, though. He's kind of like Ella. Shuts down the rush, but can still get countered easily. Like, if you play the Goyos wrong, and they all get blown up in 2 seconds, then he's worthless. His gun's good, though. Jaeger gonna go to A tier. He's kind of like putting him with a bandit, but he's kind of on the level of Castle and a Rooney. He has to go above Rooney. I think he's better than her. I think that's a good ranking for him. He's still good. Just Wamai's a better version at this point in the game. If it was old Siege, then sure, Jaeger's like top of the barrel S tier, but not anymore. He's out of his prime, you could say. Cade. Cade's gonna go to S tier because he's like the only operator that can do what he does. Like, he can Cade off hatches. And if you're a good Cade tricker, then you can keep wall shut a lot more than you would think. If Thatcher is banned, try to Cade trick the main breach instead of just pre-placing them. And you'll probably get the thermite charge because people don't know how to use the secondary EMPs really well. If you're unranked, that is. Especially if you're in like lower ranks, like anything like below diamond, then you could probably get a lot of free Cade tricks on the wall if you do it the right way. Just make sure to shotgun the wall or get a teammate too before you reinforce the breach. That way you can hear way easier outside and throw it right before they go for the charge. And thank me later. Capcan going at a S tier 2. I'm thinking about Capcan, but he has to be S tier, I think. You can go Capcan every round, you'll be fine, because his traps, again, shut down the rush. They can get kills. He has a lot of killing lethal potential, so I think Capcan's really good. Again, same gun as the zombie. It's good. Not the best, but good. Here we go with Legion. I'm going to put Legion all the way into the S tier here. And I'm going to put him above Frost. This might be way controversial, but they both have shotguns for sight setup. Maybe Frost is a little better. Maybe you think her gun's better, but I actually like Legion's gun more. His fire rate's insane. If you're like a headshot player, then his gun's insane to you. I know you think the same way as me if you're good at headshots. Like, I was just using him in a deathmatch earlier. Obviously, that doesn't mean anything. But my aim was insane with him. Because I was trying out him with a super shorty. And I never got to use the super shorty because I was destroying everybody with the primary. That's besides the point. Like, way besides the point. But yes, Legion's going to be S tier. Probably like middle of the pack, but still S tier. He can do so much. Even though his traps are not invisible anymore, I think they're good because they do a lot of damage now. And he gets more and they get reset faster. So you have more during the round as it goes on than you would before. If you put them like under windows still though, or like in weird spots in hallways that they won't see, or if you even stack them on windows, they can do a lot of damage to people. Kind of like a Capcan trap almost, like 50 damage if you put enough. Especially if they don't pull them out. So he's kind of good now. It's nice though, I'm going to use him a lot in my solo queue videos if you guys watch those, because he can do pretty much everything. I can set up the sight right, and I have a really good gun, and a good gadget. So I do love Legion now. Maestro, he's going to go like... I'll be nice and put him like lower B tier. No, I won't. I'll put him C. He's kind of right with Alibi. Like, they can kind of set up the site because they have the bailiff. Maestro has impact, so I mean that makes him better right there. He is a counter to the new operator, I guess, if you can hit the canister as it's in sight, but not really. That's never gonna happen. His gun is still good if you can control it, but no 1.5 or anything. If you got a 1.5, instant B tier at least, maybe better. He's like a good anchor still, but you'll have better choices like every round. Like, look at these ops. Malusi, she's gonna go to like mid bottom A tier. Like, I'd rather have her than Castle, I think. Depends on the site once again, but Malusi is underrated too for shutting down like the fast-paced meta. She has played a lot still in competitive too for a good bit of sites. She's good everywhere. She's flexible. I'll actually put her above a Rooney. I like that right there. Mira is going to go straight to S tier. She's the only one that can do what she does still. Like, I mean, I guess a zombie, but Mira can see through the glass, so. If they don't know how to counter Mira on the other team, she's going to be OP every round. She's going to help you win every round. She is really powerful. But if they do know how to counter her, she's kind of like average. She'll be like B tier. She wastes a lot of time still at least, and she has a good gun. But besides that, her gadget's not the best if they do know how to counter it. A lot of people don't, though, let's be honest. It's rate 2.0 too. Mozzie's going to go top 8 here. I like that right there. There's going to be better picks, like you can bring all these people over him, but you can also throw in a Mozzie every round if you want, and that's just fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, I would put him S, but there's already so many there. I want to kind of balance it the right way. So he is lower than these, so I'll put him there. If you want to put him above Mira, though, then go ahead. Mute, going to go straight to S tier 2. Probably above Cade. He's more flexible. Kind of there with Frost. They both can set up sight. They're like the main sight setup ops. Frost has a shield. I guess Mute has a C4 though, so I'll put Mute above. And I can put Mute above Legion too. Mute is really good. You can bring Mute every round as the main anchor for sight setups, and that is perfect. I like that right there. Also, SMG 11's crazy. Oryx. Oryx is going to be like kind of middle of the pack at this point. If it was me, I'd rather bring an Ella on most sites than an Oryx, to be perfectly honest. He is good at bank still. Try him on bank for all the hatches, like in the main lobby and the elevator. And again, you can thank me later. But let's go to Pulse. He can also set up sight really good and very unique. Like the cafe bars, he can just go right through those things. He does have his rolls, but middle of the pack. Good gun too, like I said, for Legion. Pulse kind of go to like B tier 2, like right here. I think that's good for a Pulse. You can't bring Pulse every round, let's be honest. He is pretty average at this point in the game. He kind of fell off like Jaeger. He used to be so good until like there were 20 more operators that can do better things than him. Rook. Rook is very underrated right now too. He's kind of like a different version of Doc, kind of worse. Put him right there, mid-A tier. You can bring him most rounds and you'll be fine. The self-revive thing is huge. That's happened so much to me since it came into the game. And insane having a 2x with the MP5. Smoke. Smoke's still going to be S tier, just lower now than it used to be. I'll put him above Mira still. I think that's a good ranking for Smoke. You can never go wrong with a shotgun SMG 11, just like Mute. Good plant denial or time wasting ability. If you do play Smoke the right way, how he's meant to be played, I think he's really good. And the barbed wire is underrated on him. I like playing Barb in close range with a shotgun. Good little strat. Sola's going to go right to S tier 2. I'll put Solus below Azami for now, but it's a really tight race up there for these top 3. I don't know who to put first. I don't know who to put second or third. Either way works for me. Solus is so good. She's the only one that can see people on their drones. She can see like claymores on runouts. She can see like flank drones. If you use her the right way too in the prep phase, I just made a TikTok about this. If you use her the right way in the prep phase though, you can hunt down so many drones. Just don't even reinforce, just leave sight and look for drones. You can see them spawning outside on some maps even. If you can get 3 or 4 of those things, then your team's going to be in such a good spot to win that round from the start. Because they are only going to have like half of their intel. It's like already taken away for that round. It makes it so much harder to push. And then during the round, like shoot a drone, drop back, and keep doing that. And keep trying to flank something else. Especially on Chalet. I love doing that. Tachanka. I think Tachanka's like B tier. If you haven't tried his the 919, the gun Capcan and Azami have, try it out with a 2x. That gun's one of the best on defense, in my opinion. I need to use it more, to be honest, just for the gun. Don't be using your launcher too much, though, and like putting yourself in bad spots, because you're completely exposed. They could just run through the fire and kill you, too. Sure, they'll take a lot of damage, but worth. So just be careful when you're using Tachanka. I'd only play him with like stacks, where you know things are locked down. I wouldn't try him in solo queue very often. Thorn. Thorn is really good. Thorn's kind of like up there with Mozzie. Like, they're a really good gun, insane. And still good utility. Don't get me wrong, it's fine, but I'd rather have the S tier ops over her. There's so many good operators in defense, it's so hard to rate this. Like, look at all these. This is insane. How are there so many good ones? Sure, I maybe should move down my scale a little bit, but like, they're still S tier at the end of the day. They're so good. Okay, Thunderbird. I'm not going to do that. I would upset so many people, but I'm going to put her in D tier. I think Thunderbird is still fine on some sites, but like just play Doc at that point. Doc's so much better. He has so much more potential. Thunderbird lost her impacts in C4, so she's pretty bad. And the attackers can use her gadgets against her if you lose the spot they're in. So, yeah, not a big fan of Thunderbird. I never have been. I have not played her much even since she came out. And that's when she was good. She was probably like B or A tier at her peak. Now she is pretty bad. And yes, Cav is above Thunderbird. I think that's actually true. Like, no doubt in my mind. I'd rather play Cav than Thunderbird. At least with Cav, you have the wild card factor of getting like an interrogation or something, or like pulling a successful flank off and getting away and wasting their time, but because the silo step is really good. In this meta, especially. But with Thunderbird, like, sure, you can get a lot of heals off, but they can also take them, like I said. I don't know. It's hard to judge. Here, I'll just be nice and put her in, like, C tier. Because she is better than Clash. Valkyrie does not belong here, by the way. Valkyrie gonna go straight up to S tiers, too. I wanted to put her A, because there's so many S, but, I mean, she's just so good. I can't not put her there. Just too good. Yeah, I'll also drop Mira down to A. Like you can't bring a Mira on every bomb site, I guess, so she can't be S tier if that's the case. You can bring these guys on every bomb site though. Maybe not Cade. I mean, like, you could. Unless it's Coastline, but that's a very, very specific example. Mira, though, there's quite a few. You can't just bring like a Mira in. Have it as good as these operators. So I think that's good. Valkyrie also S tier though. Put her above Smoke, I guess. And Cap can. More versatile than Cade, like I said. I think that's a good ranking right there. She is underrated at this point because, like, there's just so many other good ops, like I said before, but she is still S tier. Easily S tier. Vigil. I think Vigil's kind of underrated right now in this meta because he's so good at avoiding drones. He's always so annoying to go against. Like, if you just shoot a couple drones and just drop back and roam or flank somewhere else, then he is a powerhouse. He's not as good as Solus. That's why he's lower now these days, but I still think I'd rather play Vigil than Pulse or Tachanka. Goyo's better for sure, and Oryx too. Oryx is kind of a better version too, but they do different things. Wamai gonna go straight to S tier. S tier for him. He's been my favorite operator this last season now. I want to put him. I think he's better than these people. And I'm gonna put him like right there in 5th. I like that. Again, if you want to, you can change the order kind of here, like between some ops, but I think that's good overall. Wamai though, so good. I love using the secondary pistol, the what do you call it? The revolver one. I forgot what it's called. I like using that for making like footholes or head holes on certain sites, or just little lines of sight. The main gun's one of the best on defense. With a 1.5, it's crazy. I love holding down Bakery on Cafe. You guys have probably seen it if you watch my solo queue videos, but it's so fun doing that with Wamai. Also impacts for beepers. Good secondary gadgets. Warren's gonna go right up to top of A tier right here. I think he's better than these guys, but I like how Warden, Thorn, and Mozzie all like the 1.5s. Even Echo and Doc. Sure, you can take them every round and just peek your brains out, and they can be S tier if it works, but if it doesn't, then they're probably like B or C tier. So, gotta split it right in the middle. Because these guys don't have like the best gadgets compared to the ones in S tier, so they're not as like definite for that round, if that makes any sense. You have to actually do something to make them work. Either way, though, I mean, I guess it was technically somewhat of a bell curve. It went lower and then higher. Most in A tier by 1, but that's not much at all. Like, literally what? There's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Did I count that right? Yeah, there's literally 11 in S tier and then 12 in A tier. That's over half the defenders in the S and A tier. What can I say? It's just a defender meta right now with this running gun stuff. They will peek you every single time on every single angle. Tell me what you guys agree with and disagree with down there in the comments below. If you like these tier lists, subscribe to the channel. I do them quite often, I'd say. I'm probably gonna do the next one around like mid-season when the big mid-season patches come out with the Frost rework. I know that's gonna be in there, and probably some other new stuff that they'll share. So subscribe to the channel for more like that. And I do solo queue videos all the time on the channel too. Check those out. You'll be interested, I'm sure. This season, my goal is to play over 200 matches on my solo queue account. So stick around for those games. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.